My name is Dr. Wendy Perel, and today, for Think About It Thursday, I would like to speak with you regarding strong emotions that are coming in. I have been working with Archangel Michael this morning, and the energy that's coming in has to do with, are we being triggered? Are we speaking with people, working with people? Are we being triggered? And so when I'm working with Archangel Michael, his goal is always to help us to see what's happening outside of us so we know what's happening inside of us. So there's a lot of energy that's been going around with a lot of fear as we get closer to our elections, a lot of energy of separations, a lot of energy of blue and red, black and white. And just think about, we're in 2020 and still in this state that we're in, we separate ourselves by our politics, by, sometimes our color, by our sex, by everything. And as I've been working with Archangel Michael this morning, the energy that he's been sharing with me is I need to go within, we need to go within and start looking at what's really triggering us. What is stopping us from being who we really are as a compassionate soul on this planet? And we get triggers. There's a lot of things that trigger us. And right now I'm visiting my grandkids in Florida. And there are parts here in Florida that if you go into a convenience store like a gas station, they will ask you, who are you voting for? And if you pick the wrong side, and you can Google to see who Florida is for, if you pick the wrong side, they're refusing to give you service because you're not voting in alignment with them. And just knowing about that, something triggers that inside of me because I want to get angry. Like, I can't believe that we are in 2020 actually having some of this energy coming in that we have to pick a side in order to get what we want. So Archangel Michael has been asking, what's triggering you? Because what's triggering you is causing you to emotionally react to whatever's happening in your life. And for some people, it can be fear. Some people, it can be anger. Some people, it can just be complete depression or grief because of all the things that's going on. As I've been working with my clients this week, a lot of things that are triggering us is causing us to create a divide between our families. And it's really interesting because as we get inch closer and closer to the elections, for most people, I want to say, don't talk about the elections. You do you vote for who you need to vote for and keep it within. My giggle was if somebody was going to ask me who I'm going to vote for, I'm going to say I'm going to vote for me. So this way, you know what? I'm not picking a side. I'm going to vote for me. I said, I'm going to write myself in. I'm not going to, but wouldn't that be cool? But at the end of the day, so Archangel Michael is saying it's time for you to, in this energy, not focus on what's going on outside of you, but focus on what's going on inside of you. What is triggering you right now? And how do you know something's a trigger? You wanted to, it's like impulsive reaction of an emotion. So I think sometimes when I take the grandkids to Walmart, they see things that I want. They're reacting to what they see. As adults, we tend to react what we see, but ours comes in emotion where we get really frustrated, we get really angered, or we go into energies of fear. So you have to learn what is your trigger. And the really key thing here is Archangel Michael has shared this with me, and this morning I was doing some research for one of my clients, but also Esther Hicks talks about this. You have to know what triggers you so you can heal it, so you can release it. What triggers you? If something triggers you and you're feeling insecure, maybe it's your insecurity, but you have to bring it to the surface instead of just acting out. Kind of like when kids are little and they throw tantrums and we say, use your words, use your words, use your words. What's triggering you? You have to step back and say, this isn't about the outside world. This is about me. Why am I not in harmony with the things I'm seeing? Why am I getting so emotionally attached to people's behaviors, their words, their decisions, their actions? You have to go within and say, what's triggering me? And now I can say, I still have triggers. There's things that will trigger me. I get that burn in my stomach and I feel it in my lower intestines sometimes, that burn. And I have triggers and I have to get rid of those triggers because if I don't, then it's hard for me to help my clients. Now, this is something St. Germain showed me and Archangel Michael keeps helping me bring into the surface. You have to recognize what triggers you. Well, what triggers me for me is people's anger. People's anger triggers me. And why? Because I remember as a little kid, wired within my head, when my father would get angry, to me, his anger was so explosive, I would shut down. So when I hear or I'm around people that are angry, I shut down. And I realize that's a trigger for me. Not so much anymore, but it used to be a really big trigger for me because I'd go into fear, I'd go into 101 emotions. So what do? I breathe in and I ask, okay, where's that trigger coming from? Childhood, of course. As a 2, 3, 4-year-old, if you hear somebody raising their voice and get mad, you would get fearful. Think of thunder, right? So then what Saint Germain has me do, bring the emotion up to say, okay, I'm on earth. I felt this, didn't feel good. And simply say, I release all energies associated with somebody else's anger that's clinging and holding on to me. And then I release all energies associated with my anger that's clinging and holding on to me. And then, now because I'm an adult and I see my father differently, I release all energies associated with fear of my father's anger that's clinging and holding on to me. Now, these are very important because you have to bring it to the surface to heal it. So you got to understand, is it them or is it you? It's always us. It's always us. Somebody is always triggering something else inside of us. Insecurity, fear, unlovable, not good enough. We're always being triggered because in here, we still have old programming. How do I see this these days? I've been visiting the grandkids and I see like this energy between the kids because they're going in their teens, tweens, and so they get on each other's nerves. And it's really funny because they know what buttons to push to trigger each other. But think about that. Don't us adults, between the media, the news, the politics, don't they know what buttons to push to trigger you? Think about that. What triggers you and what is your truth? What triggers you and really what is your truth? So I'm going to go a little bit further now. People ask me about crystals. How do I manage this in this time? Well, we're trying to stay in balance. So black tourmaline doesn't have to be this big. I'm traveling and I'm with grandkids, but black tourmaline helps you keep some of the negative energies away from you, okay? And it helps you feel grounded and stays clear in your head. And then white selenite is like staying in your lane, right? White is for clearing up the energy. Black is for keeping the energies, the negative energies away. Black and white is your yin and yang, trying to keep you in balance. Cool? So what do you do with these? You can hold on to them. What I do with this, I have smaller pieces that for people, they wear necklaces. When I'm driving, I keep it in my lap. Instead of trying to give somebody the finger, I just keep myself in my own lane, not worrying about how other people are driving. And then the selenite, if I'm around a lot of negative energies, I'll actually kind of try to squeegee my energy field, pulling off all the energy cuties that I've picked up from everybody else. Now for today, I'm going to pull a card. And I'm pulling a card from an oracle deck. These are just fun. They're just wisdom cards. But we all like dogs, and it's Divine Dog. And the back of the deck looks like this. And all I do is shuffle the cards and just ask, what is it that we need to know as a collective today? And the card I get is anger, okay? So this dog obviously is an unhappy dog. And what this card is telling us to do is really to, before we react around other people, that we need to stop. Oh, think about it. We need to stop and say, why am I reacting? What is triggering me, right? So what is triggering the anger in you? Because if you hold on to this anger, you're going to present it to somebody else. And then it's like a domino effect. We have all this anger going on. But this anger card also is telling you to take time to cool down, to really ask yourself, where is this stuff coming from? Where is the anger coming from? And I'm going to tell you, for some of the clients that I had, especially last week, it had to do with disrespect. Everybody on the planet wants to be loved, wants to be respected, wants to be treated with dignity and respect. I don't care what religion you are, what race you are. Even animals want to be treated with dignity and respect. So know your triggers, and what's showing up in you during this energy is for you to be clear on it so you can get rid of it, so you can open your path to have better, greater things coming to you. I'd rather be triggered by joy, happiness, and love and compassion than to be triggered by fear, anger, and angst, and worry and anxiety. This card also is telling you that whatever you've been triggered, you may be, you're getting into the energy of aggression. And when you get into the energy of aggression, it's going to take your happy day full of sunflowers and it's going to turn into a gloomy day. So today's Think About It Thursday. My name is Dr. Wendy Perel. My goal is always to help us really stay awakened to our light and empower us to fulfill our soul's purpose. So as we are moving forward on our path, what is triggering you? Recognize your triggers, pull away from your triggers, breathe, use your selenite to clear your energy, use your black tourmaline to keep your energy clean and keep the low vibrations going, and stay in your lane. Don't worry about how people are reacting. Don't worry about who's pissed off about who's being elected. Stay in your lane and let the politics stuff take care of themselves. You do you. You know what's in here. You know what's in here. If you're being triggered, back away, take a breath, put on some happy music and dance. My name is Dr. Wendy Perel, and I really appreciate you listening this morning. You guys have a great day, and I'm sending you lots of blessings from Florida. Mwah. You guys be good. Bye now.